You have the NSIC's Player of the Year, and Lexi Schneider has just been on another level here the last several games for your basketball team, scoring and rebounding. How do you get her enough time so she can be patient, get those easier buckets?
Well, that's another new wrinkle for us. We moved where she's going to play tonight a little bit. You know, we talked, one of our tried and true rules against them was always ball gets to the corner, come across and post. Well, you and I both know Lexi is not a girl that just camps right under the hoop, right? So she likes to come out into that short corner, or if she faces physicality, she'll get pushed off the block. But it's not a problem because she can turn and face, or she can go 2-3 bounces and get to that right shoulder. Well, you're not going to get that against Mankato. They're coming right now. So we're going to try to play her a little bit more at the high post where she can face and go downhill with that great one dribble, long strides. I think that's going to draw some contact. She's the Player of the Year for a reason. If she can do those things, she's going to find herself getting easier baskets than she normally does against these guys.
You know, last 2 years against this basketball team, you played them 3 times, and we've talked about, well, it was a close game in the fourth quarter. It was a close game in the fourth quarter. How do you get your team into that fourth quarter, enough gas left in the tank, and finish it this time?
Hopefully the adrenaline of being in the Northern Sun Championship for the first time will be enough to have that happen for us and push us over the top when we need it, right? And, you know, in the potential winning in or win and go home scenario, you got to dance with who brung you. And that's what we're going to do tonight. And if we need a timeout or two, we're going to take that. You know, Jesse, we've got about 4 or 5 things that we're going to try tonight to make sure that the tempo stays in our favor. We're not afraid of playing fast, so I think that's okay too. Like, we're all right with that, but it's a physical grind, and it's almost more of a mental challenge because you just know you're going to get bumped and bodied and banged around, and you're just not going to get every whistle. And it's frustrating and it's annoying, but you got to play through it. Credit to them. We always said you got to be first, best, or different when you're coaching and when you're getting in the program going, and they've chosen to be radically different. And it's worked, and the rest of us are trying to catch up with how we recruit and get more handlers on the floor. So credit to them for the style they play, but it's definitely right on the edge of, okay, here we go. And so I think, like I said, the mental challenge is probably greater than the physical tonight.
Rick, thanks so much. Go win a trophy tonight.
Hey, Jesse, it's been such a pleasure being with you. We'll talk after the game again, but thanks so much for all the help that you've given us with your numbers and your insight. And our players love you. I love you. The university appreciates it. All our fans do. So you're number one in the business, man.
Hey, Coach Rick Newman for the University of Mary women's basketball team. Before tip-off of the NSIC Tournament Championship game, Marauders, the 2 seed in this tournament, taking on the 1 seed in this tournament in Minnesota State. We talked about it. The Player of the Year is on the University of Mary side, and head coach Rick Newman said it after last night's win in the Northern Sun press conference post-game. There's been a lot of games lately where we have Lexi Schneider and they don't. Over the last 6 games, Lexi Schneider's averaging almost 24 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, and a combination of steals and blocks better than 2 per game, making 57% of her shots. Player of the Year for a reason is Lexi Schneider, and the Marauders need her to get some buckets here tonight. She is on the brink of the highest scoring season in University of Mary women's basketball program history. She needs 10 points to pass Sarah Lear, who is 3rd for the most points scored in a single season, and then 11 points would pass Brittany Dietz in her scoring output. The all-time leading scorer back in 2015-2016, Lexi Schneider's within 30 points of the highest scoring season in history for University of Mary women's basketball. It's held by Cassie Askvig, her former teammate who did it in the 2019-20 season. Well, she needs her teammates, too, to step up here today for the University of Mary. Mariah McKeever finally got a groove going. She scored 9 points in the second quarter yesterday. She ended up with 21 for the basketball game in the semifinal win over Minnesota Duluth. And how about this tournament for Megan Zander? She's now made 7 threes. She had the dagger in last night's win in the fourth quarter. A block of Tatum Rhodes with less than 3 minutes left. Came down, got the ball from Mariah McKeever, and buried a 3 from the left wing to extend the lead to 6. And the Bulldogs couldn't come any closer. The Marauders were able to take down the 3-time defending champs in Minnesota Duluth, keep them out of this NSIC Tournament Championship game for the 6th consecutive year. And so it sets up a meeting where the University of Mary or Minnesota State will win their first ever NSIC tournament title on the women's side here at the Sanford Pentagon. Megan Zander came into this tournament not so hot. She, over the last 6 games, starting with that last loss to St. Cloud State of the regular season, Megan Zander was shooting just about 22% from beyond the arc. She had 7 made threes in those last 6 games. Well, in 2 games here at the Pentagon, she's made 7 threes. She had 28 points in the quarterfinals. It's against St. Cloud State. That tied a career high. She had 20 points last night in the semifinals against Minnesota Duluth to follow it up. And she has the Marauders here in the NSIC Tournament Championship game.